All right, folks, welcome to the video. Anthony here, Special Analysis. Hope everyone's having a wonderful day. Gonna talk about how we traded the market this morning. We had Fed Chair Powell, yeah, I could speak, speaking at 10 a.m. along with Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen. So had some comments come out. I think the market as a whole was anticipating those comments as they were being spoken, right, or in the onset to them being spoken. So with that being said, this morning was less than desirable, okay, as far as price action was concerned. Just is what it is, unfortunately. Sometimes days are just like that. The Nasdaq, the S&P, kind of all over the place. If you are a proficient scalper, okay, right? Like if you're confident with that, okay, so be it. If you're not, then well, that is what it is, right? You know, if you were waiting for a trending market situation, you needed to be extra diligent and extra patient today. So let me talk to you about the trades I personally took. All right, taken two. Okay, I'm done for the day after this one. You can see it's running right now. I'm waiting for the last 50% of my position to get filled. So I'm just kind of sitting tight here, looking for a push into 81.50. Been targeting to get through the lows on crude all morning. Targeting 81.60 and 81.50 liquidity. At the beginning of this video, you could see 81.60 being filled, and right now you can see 81.50 being filled. So I'm out of my second position. So let me talk about the first one, and then we'll talk about the second one real quick, just so you have some kind of insight. In depth, I will place images of the reasons why I took the trades I took, the reasons why I stayed in the trades I stayed in, and the reasons why I should have taken all my profit on my first attempt to take crude lower. I just made a mistake, right? I was in the middle of starting our live session with my clients, and you know, impulsively I made some changes that I should not have. I made those notes here in my notebook, right, so that I don't do them again. I'm a big fan of handwriting. Why? Because once it's written in ink, it's kind of hard to go back and amend it. I refuse to cross anything out in my handwritten journal simply because I just want the raw facts, right? I want to know what my thought process was. I want to know what I was feeling. I want to know why I made the changes I made. And I can tell you exactly why I did. I got short here. I'll show you on the screen, right where this red arrow is here. I was up super early this morning. So 620, this candle here was the reason why I got short. Okay, the market did push down and ended up pushing back here into resistance. I will supply images of the reasons why I stayed in the trade here as we retested resistance. My target all along was 81.75, which ultimately got filled. At 8 o'clock, when I was starting our live session, I had seen the book map kind of roll a little bit, and I saw some fresh liquidity, 81.60 and 81.50. Well, I took half my position off at 81.75 instead of the full position, which was my original plan. And then I spread the other 50% out between 81.60 and 81.50. So I ended up getting stopped out at break even, unfortunately, on the second half of my trade. Listen, hindsight's always 20/20. Should I have just stuck to the plan? Probably. Am I mad about it? No, it was still a profitable trade. I captured that trade on a different video, which I will include in the blog post so you can see that first 50% getting filled. And I was wrong, right? I thought we were going to maybe push the lows. We didn't. We came back. We chopped around. It was what it was. I just left it be. All right. You know, I took half my profit, 81.75. Okay, and I got short at 81.97, so it's about 22 ticks roughly. All right, so that was trade number one, and again, I will put images of the footprint chart, why I entered here, and why I chose to continue to stay in the trade when it retraced back to my entry. Okay, so that was trade number one. All right, then we get Powell and Yellen speaking. We get the 9 o'clock open, we get the 9:30 U.S. session open. 10 o'clock we get Powell and Yellen speaking. Market now runs up to and through its session highs. 82.42 is the session high, or was not the original session high. It's also higher time frame resistance. Okay, so as most of you guys know, I do in fact look at a weekly chart, a daily chart, and a 4-hour chart. Those are my higher time frame analysis charts that I use. So in doing so, I had identified an area where higher time frame resistance potentially could have been found. We've danced on that price now for the past couple weeks, and you can see that white line here in the top chart. This is where we pulled back into, pushed, and then immediately failed. Once we came through this prior high, which I was looking to see if we would find support, you can see we found support here a few times. Once we came through that, this is where I got short, and that's the trade that you saw got filled here as we pushed through the lows as I started this video. I took profit at 81.60 and 81.50, and you can see now we're at 81.34. Am I mad about it? No. I took a semi-successful trade here this morning. Right? I covered half of my trade. I got stopped out on the other half, and then here, as price broke down through that prior high, I got short. We broke the VWAPs and finally hit what I was targeting earlier this morning, 81.60 and 81.50, taking profits at both spots. So you can see here, price pulled back into point of control, and we failed to continue higher, and that's where we kind of took a wild dump here. So super pleased with the trades that I took. Maybe not so pleased with the first trade I took, that I made some last minute changes. And again, I have that written down in my notebook here. I had a plan going into that trade specifically. That plan ended up working out as I anticipated it to. It did not end up pushing deeper, and I didn't have intentions of it pushing deeper at the time I placed the trade. As I started working with my clients live, kind of talking them through what I was seeing in the market broadly, I made a kind of a knee-jerk reaction, and I was like, well, maybe we push 81.75, we can go to 81.60 and 81.50. And in doing so, like I said, I took a stop out on the other half of that trade. I will include a video of that getting filled also inside the blog post for you, along with some images, so that you can kind of better understand the entire thought process as I will put it together. Am I anticipating the market to, market broadly, meaning the Nasdaq, the S&P, gold to start moving? It's possible. I don't think the market was upset about the statements that were made this morning, so we'll keep a close eye on it. But it is what it is, right? I took one trade early. I wanted to kind of get one out of the way. If I was able to find it, I didn't force it. It was at resistance. I liked it, and again, I'll include images why I liked it. That was super early this morning. I was trying to get through it before we hit the statements at 10 a.m. And then I took this second short here into those targets, after, of course, the 10 a.m. statements were made and all got flushed out and whatnot. So that's how I played the market personally this morning. As we came together this morning, we just talked about today probably being a little bit hard in anticipation of those statements and the reaction to come. We called a push lower there on gold, which we did end up getting. It reversed. We called the reverse very, very clean as well. But the Nasdaq, the S&P were just kind of all over the place. And sometimes, guys, that's just hard. And when it's hard and it doesn't meet a plan that you are consistent with, right, that you're disciplined by employing, You just have to have the willpower to step out of the market and go, you know what? Today's not the day. Okay? Like I knew I didn't want to trade into or during Powell and Yellen speaking. So I knew that I had to either get one in early, right? That was going to go in my favor. It did. I made a knee-jerk reaction, which could have worked out for me. It didn't. So be it. I'm not mad. Either way, profitable trade. And then the second was, after Powell and Yellen had spoke, I placed the trade and got that push that I was looking for through the lows into 81.60 and 81.50. And guys, that's how I played it. So if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it. If you would like to see more videos like this, these daily recaps, please subscribe to the channel. If you've not subscribed to the email list yet, please do so. If I can answer any questions for you, I'll leave my email in the comments or the description section below. And this is how I approach the market, right? I've taken 13 years of experience, and I've dedicated, that into not only trading myself, but helping other people who are genuinely interested and committed to the craft of trading. All right. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is not easy by any means, but it is achievable for anyone who's willing to put the time, effort, and energy into it. I believe I made it very affordable to be of assistance to my clients and my potential clients who desire, me to help them. Okay, it's time consuming. It's a labor of love on my end, and my goal is to help you be successful. Right. I could trade all by myself and be perfectly content, but the fulfillment really comes from seeing somebody who's never done it before or somebody who's struggled and then see them grow into this profitable trader. It's just such a beautiful thing. And I really wish somebody was there to help me when I started. And I think that's really a driving force of why I desire to help others. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Hope you have a wonderful day. God bless and be well.